Shavua Tov and Shalom, I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief brought to you by Lay of the Land. And just a little bit of news before we get into those top stories like we do every Monday to Thursday. The Israel Brief will be on location on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Yes, I'll be joining the 20 plus people strong delegation of WITSO who will be attending the World Zionist Congress, the 125th anniversary of the World Zionist Congress, where it all started in Basel, Switzerland. So look out wherever you get your Israel Brief to see where we will be coming to you from. But without further ado, let's get into today's top stories. And we begin with Lebanon. Hizbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah has threatened escalations of violence unless Lebanon gets his way in the ongoing mediation regarding the ongoing maritime dispute. So what is this dispute all about? There are natural gases or natural gas fields in an area, in a maritime area off the coast of both Lebanon and Israel. However, the borders have not yet been decided. This is an ongoing negotiation led by the United States. Now, Israeli analysts, Lebanese analysts say it's unlikely that this is anything more than saber rattling from Nasrallah. Maybe he wants to still seem relevant. Maybe he still wants to saber rattle while there are ongoing talks around Iran and prohibiting Iran from going nuclear. And it is believed that they don't think Nasrallah will want to engage a military strong Israel, especially in that Israel has the capabilities to destroy Hizbollah. Meanwhile, just moments ago, our defense minister Benny Gantz said that if Hezbollah attacks any of the natural gas fields, this could lead to war. So we are hoping that the border will be decided soon and a state of calm will prevail. Last week we covered in depth Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Authority president's outrageously offensive comments that he made during a joint press conference with the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. In that press conference, Abbas said that the Palestinians had survived 50 massacres, 50 Holocausts. Now, in Germany, downplaying the Holocaust is a crime, and this leads to a docket or an investigation being opened, and Abbas is no exception. The Berlin police have, in fact, opened an investigation into his comments. However, Abbas, being the Palestinian Authority president and enjoying diplomatic immunity, is unlikely to be further investigated or arrested. Now, many in the economic world will talk about wanting a bullish market. Well, an Israeli bank today got more than they bargained for when a bull charged through the bank. Yes, never a dull moment here in Israel. There's no word on how the bull got out, but the angry bull charged at several cars and then ran into the Bank Leumi in Lod, just a couple of minutes away from where I am here in Modi'in. The owner of the bull, who is the city-employed vet, had to come over and stun the bull and was able to restrain it. But no worries, no humans or animals were hurt in the making of this story. And our last story, well, you know, we like to end off on a positive note, but sometimes one just has to jump on one's soapbox. Supermodel Bella Hadid, yeah, you know the one. She is the daughter of Mohammed Hadid. Mohammed Hadid, born in Nazareth in November 1948, which by my calculations would make him Israeli. However, he in recent years has discovered his inner Palestinian and has become quite vocal along with his two supermodel daughters, Bella and Gigi, on speaking about Palestinian issues, but more than that, spreading some really inflammatory anti-Israel, anti-Semitic invective, and they are not above appropriating Jewish symbols such as the Maccabi team before the State of Israel was formally born, or antiquity with Hebrew writing to push forward their narrative. Well, speaking to a Syrian journalist, Bella had a little bit of a whine that she has lost many of her modeling contacts or contracts as a result of her pro-Palestinian position. And she says that many of her friends have turned their back on her, and her Jewish friends will not invite her around for Shabbat dinner anymore. Well, we just want to give Ms. Bella a little piece of advice. Bella, when you hang out with people who physically assault Jews and you spread anti-Jewish, anti-Israel invective, most of which is not corroborated, when you don't use your massive platform to push peace, to push conciliation, but rather foment anti-Semitism, you're going to ruffle some feathers. However, I just want to say to you, if you're watching, because I don't know, maybe the Israel Brief are the last people who are talking to you, you would be more than welcome at my Shabbat table anytime if you are prepared to listen to our side of the story and have progressive discussions with many Jews, instead of just shutting down our voices because we disagree with you. Just a thought, Bella. And while we're at it, Bella's daddy owns, I think, the biggest house in Beverly Hills and is a renowned playboy. So Bella, before you castigate anybody about missing out on your heritage, just remember, closer inspection begins at home. So I'm going to jump off my soapbox to remind you that you can find us on www.layoftheland.online. That's our website. We are on Facebook at Lottel's site. You know what to do. Like us, follow us, share our content. Our YouTube channel is at the Israel Brief. If you're watching there, kindly subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button. And we're on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Monday edition of the Israel Brief. Don't forget to join me again tomorrow for your top stories.